So Anthony,
Yeah?
you are designing a T flip-flop.
Oh, yeah, T-flip-flop.
Just explain to me what is the concept of the T flip-flop. What does it do?
Okay, so the concept of the T-flip-flop is you input an on and an off. So you have an input and you have an output, okay? It's basically...
Okay, so do on a paper.
Okay, so you have an input and then you have an output. Okay?
So that block is the T flip-flop.
Yeah,
Okay.
so... Yeah. Okay, so you turn the input on and off, and the output it'll swap. So if the output is 1, then it'll turn to 0, right? And if it's 0, then it turns to 1. So
Why is that interesting? What's an example?
example, it can be used for memory, right? So you can remember data. So if you have you can store some bits, right? So each one T flip-flop is 1 bit, and in order to modulate the bit, you just send in a pulse.
Oh, okay.
Do them, okay?
Yeah, okay. All right, good.
Okay, so I made a blueprint for how it should work.
Okay, so explain to me what those N's or A's
Okay.
or whatever those things are.
So the N is a NOR, okay? And NOR basically do you have to explain a NOR?
I understand what a NOR is. Okay.
Yeah. The O's are ORs.
Okay.
The A's are ANDs, and the T's are times, okay?
Well,
So
what's time?
Okay, so the timer, it basically, you input a signal, and it outputs a signal sometime later, okay? 0.0, let's just say 1 millisecond later, okay?
Okay.
Now, for this T flip-flop, the input, it'll have to be about, the input, it has to send a very short input. It can be a pulse, and there's a way that you can take, you can make a pulse.
So your pulse has to be shorter than the time delay of the T.
So let's say the pulse is 0.5 milliseconds, okay? So the pulse is very short.
Okay.
Okay.
So how does this work? Walk me through how this works.
Okay. So when this thing starts off, you have this this part right here, okay?
Yeah.
This circuit is stable, so it'll always be this side will either be 1 or it'll be off, okay? And same with this, and this side is always the opposite.
Okay, so now explain to me the sequence of how this thing works.
Okay, so when you start it off, one is going to be on and one is going to be off. So let's just say that this one is on.
Now, okay, so you can assume that the O output is 1, but why the N output is 1? We don't know that, right?
Okay, so so the N output, that will be 0, okay? So this circuit...
No, that N before. Yeah, how do you know that it's going to be 1? That's a big assumption, right? Do we have to start with the assumption that that output is 1?
No, we don't. But let's just say once the circuit is stabilized, okay, the circuit, like, it's stabilized and it's at the state. So it's 1 and this is 1. So it's stable right here, right?
How do you know the N's output is 1?
Okay, because the input is O, right? The input right here is O, and the input right here is O. And the reason the input's O is because you have an N that one feed into it, right? Okay, so then the way it works is that because this is OR, so you have a 1. So all the outputs from this is 1. So you have a 1 here. So the timer, right? Let's say you wait a bit. So then this is also 1. And okay, so let's just fill out the
wait, the output of the O, that O on the bottom.
Yeah.
Should be 1, right? Not 0.
Why should it be?
Because you do an AND with what's the output of the AND gate? What's the output of the AND gate?
O.
Okay.
And this is O.
Okay.
This is O, and this is O. Nope, sorry. Okay, so do you think we just cut here and I draw the entire thing?
Or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So the O's output here is that output is 0, right? So 0 goes to here. That's 0. Okay, I got it.
So this is
got it. Understand
0.
it. Okay. All right. So now what?
So are they all filled in?
Okay. So now what? Now What are you going to do?
Okay, so we send a short pulse, okay, through here. So let's say this is momentarily changed to 1, okay?
Yeah.
Means that this will be 1, goes into here. Since the timer, it's 1, so this will be...
No, how do you know the timer is 1? You have to look at the input of that thing,
Okay,
right?
the input is...
Oh, yeah, it's still 1, okay.
Yeah, the input is 1, okay?
Okay.
So it's 1. So let's just fill out all the stuff. So this will become a 1. Okay, but this will not become a 1 because the timer, it takes some time for the pulse to go through.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this will be a 1, but this will still be a 0.
And this thing right
this
here.
will be a 1.
Okay.
Yes.
So the end output there
this
is...
will be O. O. 1.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you wait 0.5 milliseconds, then this will be turned off. Right, so this is off, and this is off.
Wait, but before you do that, your T is gonna a bit later. Your T is gonna have some change input, no?
Yes, but we're waiting 0.5 milliseconds, right?
Okay.
So after 0.5 milliseconds, the pulse is off. So then we have to change it. So this is still
So the
off.
pulse is shorter than the time delay of the T.
Yeah, pulse is shorter than time delay. Off. Okay, so does this look good? Looks good.
So then, okay.
No, this should be off.
No, why? Your T is still maintaining its value, right?
Oh yeah, this should be still on. And then this should be off. Okay, so now you have the circuit and it's stable here, right? So if you wait a bit longer, then the T, it will give out its value that it had earlier. But since the T is connected to the AND gates, so the AND gates, they're off, right? So they won't do anything. So
the output of the T is what?
the output of this T, it is, the output, this T, it's 1, right?
It's 1, but the input is 0.
Okay, so now this T will send out an output, right? So now the T will send out the output and it will become 1. But the AND gate, you have the input, right? So it's already 0, so it won't go through. So now,
but that's this T here.
Yeah.
What happens to this T here?
This T, it's still a 0.
0, but the output is, how is it?
The output is 1 because it has to send out the output from earlier. So it's 1, but this is
but you
still
have to
0.
wait for a little bit, then it's going to change to 0, no?
Yeah, it's going to change to 0. So this will change back to 0. So now everything is normal, but it is flipped, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So to demonstrate this...
Wait.
Okay, yeah?
Still doesn't make sense.
No, why not?
Because this AND here, you have a 0 here, so this output here has to be 0.
I
So,
already crossed out the 0.
so 0 here. So how is this 1?
Because you have you have this part, it's stable, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
So you have the 1 that goes through here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so to prove that it works, we made a demonstration.
What is this?
Okay, so this part right here.
What is this software?
Okay, this is a Scrap Mechanic. It basically lets you simulate some physics. So this part right here, this is the T flip-flop that we were talking about earlier.
Where is the input? Where is the output?
Okay, so this is the input, right? But this circuit right here, it's to modulate the pulse of the input. So it's made, so the way that works is it makes the pulse of the input really short. Okay, so this is what this logic does. You don't need to go over this. So basically, if I...
Where's the input? Where's the output?
This is the input, and the light is the output.
Okay, so where are the AND gate, OR gates, and AND gates? Can you point out?
Okay, so if you look in here, this is an OR, NOR.
So can we correlate back to this thing? Oh yeah, so it's the 2 ORs and the 2 NORs. I got it.
Yes. 2 ORs, 2 NORs.
Yeah.
These are the timers. These are the ANDs. This is the input, and it connects to the output, which is this.
Okay.
Okay. And this is just a reset button in case something happens. Okay, so if I click it, it turns off, and if I click it again, it turns on.
Ah, nice. So you said that you have some issues that you still have to deal with. What is that?
Oh, I fixed them already.
Oh, you fixed it already?
Yes.
What was the issue?
So earlier the issue was that the button, you have to hold the button down for a very, very, very specific amount of time. Otherwise, the button would, otherwise it would go too long, and the input time will be over the timer. Okay? And the way that Scrap Mechanic works, it works by game ticks. So every time, one tick is like a fraction of a second. I think it's like 0.1 seconds, so, or like 0.05. It doesn't really matter, but each time you input into the logic, it takes one game tick to respond, right? So then if the button it's longer, if it's shorter than each game tick, then it'll just it'll go bad because.
Well, actually, the button push has to be.
It has to be longer.
Longer than the.
Than the game tick, but shorter than the timer.
Oh, okay. So what did you do?
Okay, so the way that I do it is I have a device right here. This cuts off the game. This cuts off the button pulse, so it's always one game tick long. And now you have here that extends the button pulse, so it's
It's guaranteed to be longer than.
Yeah, it's guaranteed to be longer, and it's guaranteed to be also shorter.
Okay.
Because it always extends it to a certain amount.
Nice.
Okay? So that's how it works.
So, cool. Are you gonna do this thing in Python?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in Python.
Okay. All right. I'll wait to see your Python implementation.
Okay, yeah.